Licence, of course.
Now, so the only time Simon will have the swag is when we go in the boat. Now, when we go on the boat, that I think is when it puts him most at risk of being eaten by the crocodilian. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll tell you a story that Simon we got up to, but this was, I suppose it affected Simon more than anyone. So, to put it in perspective, we're on this river called the Fitzmaurice. Okay, has anyone heard of the Fitzmaurice?
Oh, there's a river just down from.
Yeah? There is a couple of different Fitzmaurices. This is the Fitzmaurice in Northern Territory. Yeah?
That's the Michael Fitzmaurice, and the next river down from us, there's a Michael Fitzmaurice.
Michael, who's he?
And Morris Fitzmichael river down the road.
You're confusing me. You're confusing them.
No, that river is called the Michael Fitzmaurice.
Where's that one?
And down the road from that is the Morris Fitzmichaels.
You're confusing them, Ernie.
They're
lost already. They get one of these stickers, get lost. That's for you.
Oh, shut up.
You're confusing them. So we're at the Fitzmaurice, not the Michael Fitzmaurice or the Fitzmaurice Michael. The Morris Fitzmichael. So it's the Fitzmaurice. All right. So we're at the Fitzmaurice. It's a remote river system in the Northern Territory, okay? And we travel up this Fitzmaurice. We got to drive there first. That took us a couple of days. We drive there, we set up camp, we unload the tinnies, we drop in the tinnies, load the swags in. Can't put the rooftop tent in, remember? And then we travel another 40 nautical miles in our little tinnies. And we get up to the headwaters, and then we come back a little bit to this place called the Policeman's Rock Bar. There weren't any policemen there. They call it the Policeman's Crossing or Policeman's Rock Bar because I think in the old days the policemen on horseback used to come across, and that was how they'd get across the Fitzmaurice from Western Australia into Northern Territory. Now, so Simon's got his swag. He's going to be sleeping in his swag. So we find this little spot for the night beside the crossing because we can't get over the crossing because the crossing is about a 2 to 3 metre rock shelf. When the tide comes in, you can get over it. When the tide goes out, you can't. So there was a guy with us. His name was Ian. Ian is a ranger for that area, and he likes to shoot stuff. Okay? He's allowed to do it because he is the ranger, and he likes to kill the feral animals, the pigs. So he sees a mob of pigs, and he goes across on foot. You hear some shooting, bang, 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 and about an hour later he comes back and he's got a pig's leg. Okay? He says, "There's tucker tonight, boys." I went, "Okay, fair enough." He hangs the pig leg in the tree on the side of the riverbank. Tinnies are on the hard rock. There's the grassy riverbanks about this high above where the tinnies are. And then the riverbank's about this wide as the stage. So we're on the riverbank, nice grassy bank. It's not too bad. Roll out the swags. 11 o'clock that night, just after we'd finished eating the pig leg. I didn't eat all of it. I think I just had a little bit of it. I don't know whether you've eaten wild pig. It's not that tasty. All right, it's very gamey, very piggy. Okay? So we've eaten the pig there. Simon's got his swag there. And he's like, time to go to bed, I reckon. So he grabs the torch and he wanders over to the water's edge because by now the tide had come in. Boats have floated up. The water's only about this far from the edge from the top of the stage to the ground. That's the water's edge, okay? So he wanders over, swag's here, campfire's about there. He wanders over to the edge, probably about a couple of metres from the campfire, and he shines his torch in the water. And right there in front of him is the head of a 4-metre crocodile just sitting on the surface of the water looking at him with his nose up against the bank. And he's just gone, holy, holy, all right? Holy crap, big croc. Comes back to our campfire, which is just over here. He says, "There's a bloody big croc there." His swag is about a metre or two away from the edge of the bank. So the ranger goes, "Scare it off with a gun, Simon." And Simon goes, "All right, we'll scare it off." Meanwhile, while we're sitting around, because he took off for a bit, he'll come back, they do. We sit around, and then that's when the cameraman starts deliberating about heading up onto the top. There's like a big embankment behind us. You have to sort of drag your gear up and climb and scramble up. So we start deliberating about, that's where we're going to be sleeping up there. So we going up there? I think he keeps saying.
In the middle of the night.
11 o'clock. So he's thinking, I think, and he keeps saying, I think we should go up there. I think we should go up there. And I think he said about 10 times. So he was a little bit concerned. Meanwhile, we're just concerned about shining the torch and see if he's coming back. So 10 minutes later he goes back, and this time he's got the gun. Shines the torch. Yep, there he is. Bang, bang. Lets 2 shots off in the air, and the old Croc bolts for it. But we sat around, and the cameraman kept saying, I think we should be up there. So we did decide to go up and camp up the top there. And the reason being is, big crocs like that, a couple of gunshots, a couple of poking with a stick, that doesn't bother him. He'll be back again. He'll be back that night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever, and he would easily pluck old Simon off the bank, and he'd be wearing one of those
sleeping bags, yeah.
And what are they called?
Lacoste sleeping bag.
Lacoste sleeping bag, that's it.
Down the mouth of a bloody croc.
Down the mouth of a croc. So we wake up the next morning up on the top of the riverbank there, and no one got taken. So
you've got to ask the question though.
Yeah.
I mean, not only there's you and the crew and Simon on the bloody bank and with the ranger and stuff.
Yeah.
You got a bloody leg of meat, leg of pork hanging up as well.
Well, that's the thing.
The croc's trying to work out which is easier.
That's it. That's the thing. And that's what brings the croc in. That piece of meat sitting there
Couldn't
is
you
what
put it
brought
about
him in.
100 yards down the road?
What?
Couldn't you put the meat 100 yards down the road in a tree about a little bit out of croc range so that he can spend the whole night down there working out how to get that out, and you can outthink the bugger.
That could have been the trick. But we were trying to eat the meat ourselves.
Trying to get it. Oh.
We were trying to eat it. I mean, we didn't want to feed it to the crocs.
And put the wind up Simon.
Yeah, pretty much. Because he doesn't get to sleep in his swag much.
Yeah, why?
Because he likes rooftop
pussy.
tents. So yeah, that's it.
What's wrong with your hat, girl? You know, can you put your hat on? Bloody sun's hot and give you a hat and you just sit there and melt your brain again.
Yeah, so old Simon on All for Adventure. Now, the thing about All for Adventure, it's about getting out there. So you guys are here because you got a 4-wheel drive, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And the rest of them are here for the free stuff.